Steel Canyon class of 2020, congratulations on this accomplishment. Congratulations on completing high school. Graduation marks the end of years of hard work, starting in elementary school, going on into middle school, and then now completing high school. So again, congratulations. And obviously graduation this year is a lot different than you expected. Probably never would have thought that this is what graduation would have been. And if we're honest, it's a bummer. It's frustrating. You want to be together with your friends. You want to be together celebrating this accomplishment, and instead you're celebrating much differently. It's a time that really for so many people, this current situation we're going through is marked with fear. Marked with fear of the unknown, fear of what the future holds. And let's take a minute and think about it. Class of 2020, it's interesting if you think about it that you entered into life right at the end of 9/11. Some of you possibly were born in that fall of 2001 when 9/11 took place. But whether you were born right then, you were born in a time when the world was gripped with fear. Time when the world didn't know what was going to happen, what it would look like. And 9/11 changed so much. And it was fear. And now you're graduating again in this time of fear. Two significant times in your life. Obviously, birth, very significant. And now graduation, also significant. Marked with fear. And fear can grip us. Fear can keep us from really doing what we were called to do. And don't get me wrong, fear is also good. Fear keeps us from making stupid decisions and doing things that could harm us. So fear, while it can be good, can also in a lot of ways be harmful because of what it keeps us from doing. And so I would encourage you that as you step out into the future, as you go from Steel Canyon and really this safe environment that you've been in the last 4 years, that whether you're going from here right into the workforce, whether you're joining the military, going to vocational school, community college, or going to a 4-year university, that whatever that future takes you, that you wouldn't enter it in this gripping fear. You would enter into whatever that is, knowing that you can accomplish great things. Knowing that you were made for more than a life gripped with fear. I saw a quote years ago that said, "A life lived in fear is a life half lived." And I would agree with that. That when we allow fear to grip us and to keep us from doing all that we were made to do, that we really miss out on so much. So the question really is, how do we face that fear? How do we tackle that fear and not let it grip us? I think the answer to that is we need peace. We need to be able to live at peace with all that is going on. Those things that are unknown, those things that are known, but just to have this peace that tells us we can handle this. We can be able to get through this. In the Bible, we read a passage in Philippians 4:7, and it says, "And the peace of God, which transcends all understanding, will guard our hearts and our minds." That's the peace we need. For us to be able to move on, we need that peace. Steel Canyon class of 2020, again, congratulations. I want to leave you with one final thought. It's a verse from the Bible in Numbers, a book of the Old Testament, chapter 6, verse 24 to 26 says this. And this is my prayer for you guys, the class of 2020, that the Lord would bless you and keep you, that the Lord would make his face shine upon you, and that the Lord would turn his face toward you and give you peace. Class of 2020, congratulations. May God bless you in wherever the future takes you.
Welcome, graduates of Steel Canyon, class of 2020. Allow me to begin with the scripture from Deuteronomy chapter 31, verses 7 and 8. Upon the imminent death of Moses and the appointment of Joshua to lead Israel, Moses called Joshua and told him, "Be strong and resolute, For it is you who shall go with this people into the land that the Lord swore to their fathers to give them. And it is you who shall apportion it to them. And the Lord himself will go before you. He will be with you. He will not fail you or forsake you. Fear not, and be not dismayed. The speech commissioning Joshua into office includes 3 formal elements: encouragement, be strong and resolute; description of the task, for it is you who, and assurance of support, the Lord will be with you. Steel Canyon High School, class of 2020, I encourage you to be strong and resolute as you embark on this new journey into college, military, or work. We have all been tested by recent events: a global pandemic, the closing of schools, and most recently, the riots in Minneapolis. As we face each of these challenges, we must remember what is truly important: family, friends, and dedicating ourselves to doing the right thing. Although the task before each of you is different, the advice I have for you is the same. Be assured that your experiences up to this point have prepared you for the challenges and opportunities that lie ahead. I hope your education has taught you how to think more than we have taught you what to think. Knowing how to think will prepare you for any future event. Knowing what to think will only prepare you for events of the past. Finally, I want to offer an assurance of support, just like Moses offered to Joshua. The Lord will be with you as you go out into the world. Your teachers, staff, and classmates will be cheering for you, and we will be always here for you if you need help. Good luck, class of 2020, and congratulations on your graduation.
Hi, my name is Sydney Villa, and I'm the class president of the class of 2020, and I'll be reading Dream Big. If there were ever a time to dare to make a difference, to embark on something worth doing, it is now. Not for any grand cause necessarily, but for something that tugs at your heart, something that is worth your aspiration, something that is your dream. You owe it to yourself to make your days count, have fun, dig deep, stretch, dream big. Know through that things worth doing seldom come easy. There will be times when you want to turn around, pack it up, and call it quits. Those times tell you that you are pushing yourself and that you are not afraid to learn by trying. Persist. Because with an idea, determination, and the right tools, you can do great things. Let your instincts, your intellect, and your heart guide you. Trust. Believe in the incredible power of the human mind, of doing something that makes a difference, of working hard, of laughing and hoping, of lasting friends, of all the things that will cross your path. Next year, the start of something new brings the hope of something great. Anything is possible. There is only one you, and you will pass the way but once. Do it right. Thank you.
Congratulations, Steel Canyon class of 2020. I am so honored to stand before you today and grateful for the invitation. You know, a few months ago, the darlings of Hollywood, Tom Hanks and his wife Rita Wilson, came out and told the world that they had the COVID-19 virus, and it shocked the world. It became real for so many of us that day. Earlier last year, Tom Hanks played the beloved Fred Rogers in the movie Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood. You might know the character better by his TV name, Mr. Rogers. While Rogers was growing up as a young boy, when he would encounter scary things or be surrounded by a situation that he was uncomfortable with, his mother would tell him this: look for the helpers. You will always find people who are helping. Well, he took his mother's words to heart and shared this many years later during a very difficult time of mourning for our country. And I quote, he said, "To this day, especially in times of disaster, I remember my mother's words. I'm always comforted by realizing that there are still so many helpers, so many caring people in the world." My charge to the Steel Canyon graduates of 2020 is simply be a helper. Helpers are servants, and serving is one of the highest characteristics that you can possess. Servants are celebrated by societies and admired by those that are around them, and they're the ones that really make a difference in this world. And in this current day, you are surrounded by examples of what it means to serve. The first responders, the nurses and doctors who place themselves in the path of danger each and every day. And living here in San Diego, we get to see and hear stories of those serving in our branches of military who are willing to place themselves in harm's way to secure our freedoms and our liberties. You witnessed firsthand the staff and the faculty of this school serving each and every one of you selflessly, caring for you and giving their devotion. Their faithfulness every day has been a model of what it means to serve, and they've given so much to all of you and to help make this day possible. You've also had a front row seat over the last 18 years or so, watching your parents and loved ones serve you on a daily basis. For many families and moms and dads, they've placed their dreams on hold in order for you to play a sport or be on a cheer team or allow you to take lessons from an instrument or whatever your choice was in high school. They've even allowed their own dreams to be placed on hold so maybe you could attend your favorite university or college. Listen, parents don't always get it right. They're not perfect. But the ones that do get it right sacrifice their time and their talent to help develop yours. They are the true servants, and I hope you find time to thank them today. So again, I say be a helper, be a servant. Whatever direction you find yourself taking or whatever your final destination might be, always include others in the journey. Find a need and fill it. It's as simple as that. There's several benefits to serving. There's a built-in satisfaction in serving. In fact, scientists even say that you'll live longer. And I promise you this one thing. Toward the end of your life, the one thing that will matter are the lives that you touched and the people that you've served. Serving doesn't require a special talent or even a skill, so everyone can be a champion. So we will never forget the class of 2020, but it won't be because of some virus. It will be because of the number of lives that you serve, the number of people whose stories will be changed because they've encountered you. It doesn't seem like a commencement speech. It seems like today without a quote from Dr. Seuss, so here's mine as I close. To the world, you may only be one person, but to one person, you may be the world. I'm asking you to be that one person, be a servant, or in Mr. Rogers' words, be a neighbor. So graduating class of 2020, I congratulate you today for all of your hard work and your commitment that has led you to this moment. Your best days are ahead of you. Congratulations.
Welcome graduating class of 2020, family and friends.
All over social media, there are famous people giving advice to graduating seniors.
Really? Oh, I think we don't even need these.
Oh gosh, thank goodness.
I mean, it's just you and me.
It's a lot
Okay.
under there. All right,
What do you think?
I'm ready to go.
Better?
Okay.
I got this.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Welcome class of 2020 graduating seniors, family and friends.
All over social media, there are famous people giving advice to graduating seniors or offering all of us some kind of cosmic reasoning for what we've been going through. Obviously, we're not famous, and we've come with no explanation as to why this is happening, but we are teachers at your school who represent all the teachers who love you and wish you the best. We're also moms who happen to be sisters, and between the two of us, we have 6 kids, 4 attending Steele, 1 student who graduated 2 years ago, and even 1 student graduating this year. We love you, Jack. Recently, I read that for this graduating class, history has found you. It sounds kind of creepy, like you were minding your own business and then out pops history to startle you. And what I think that it really is saying is that you were just going along, living your life, and then the pandemic grew from just a rumor into a sudden shutting down of all you knew almost overnight. Boom, a major historical event disrupts your life. We all remember March 13th, our last day on campus, and talk about the most epically awful Friday the 13th ever.
I've also heard people say that you, the graduating class, were chosen for this and that this class is special. I'm sure missing friends, school, and graduation doesn't really make you feel special or chosen right now. You just want to return to normal and to reverse time so you can have all those things that have been taken away from you. Loss is not easy to accept. It gives us a great excuse to complain. But today, as you receive blessings from our clergy at this virtual baccalaureate, you also have the opportunity to look outward and share your own blessings with others. This week, you are expected to celebrate
when you don't feel like celebrating. And because you have to make something crummy into something good. And because of that, this makes you special. I know that sounds odd, and it's really not, because other graduates who got their regular graduations, their grad nights, their proms, it was easy for them to celebrate because it was all fun stuff. You are called to dig deeper. And yes, you can feel terrible and mad and sad. And then you ask yourself, where does this negativity take me? So, what do you get to do? You get to choose to move past your disappointments and frustrations and to celebrate when celebrating feels weird, distant, and not enough. You get to dig deep. And though it doesn't feel the way you want it to, you get to celebrate. All of us have suffered in varying degrees during this difficult time, some way more than others. But that suffering has created a bond and has stirred up in you, whether you've recognized it or not, a deeper empathy for those who face disappointment. You have become more prepped and ready to change.
It's like the metaphor of the butterfly. This time of quarantine has become like a cocoon. We've all had to go inward, literally and figuratively. We've been inside our homes, inside ourselves, and like that little caterpillar, we've had to shed our old patterns. Although at first we didn't like it, and sometimes we still don't, that solitude provided us time for space, quiet, and time to be with those people who are closest with us. Not to mention, plenty of time to binge watch your favorite Netflix show, play Call of Duty with your best friends, or make up or watch a TikTok dance. All the while, totally free to stay up late, not worrying about getting up because, hey, every day's the same.
The other day, my senior asked me, where did April go? And honestly, I didn't even know what to tell him. Where did April go?
I don't even remember April.
No. Maybe during that time of cocooning, you even read a book, or you had to watch the sun, or you got to watch the sunset, or you had a meal with your family, or you made time to meditate or to pray. Like the caterpillar whose job is to eat and eat, to use that fuel and nourishment for its new form, we ate and ate, eating whenever we were bored, which was, of course, all the time. And for some of you, kids and parents alike, putting on that COVID-19 pounds. That
Or
cocooning,
COVID-5. COVID-5.
So, well, I wouldn't say that.
Okay, go ahead.
That cocooning was necessary for both your health and the health of the greater good, but you couldn't stay there forever. Now, parents, maybe some of you also felt a little quarantine cramping with your students in that cocoon. You never expected to be your kid's teacher, principal, campus supervisor, all rolled into one.
And so you begin to emerge. You're not butterflies yet, not quite yet. This week is a time of transition. Zoom meetings are coming to an end, thank you God. You're walking on beaches with friends, you're considering going to your favorite restaurant, you're responsibly meeting up with people you missed. You're emerging and happy to do so. And yes, you are special, class of 2020 graduates. A challenge has been handed to you, and you're using it to become different and better. Some of you may say that you don't feel much like a butterfly and that some days are still a struggle, but your transformation will come. There's hope for that. Because the drab days of March and April are behind us. You'll be free of high school soon and ready to share your beauty with the world. Now, parents, we know it's tough to see the transformation of our kids, but how beautiful they are and how they persevered. We are truly living history. Someday, many of you graduating seniors will tell your own kids, but hopefully not too soon, about how crazy this time was. And hopefully someday, we parents will be talking to our grandkids about all that we went through.
And it is time to celebrate. Getting through high school deserves celebrating. Let's celebrate the 674 days of your time here at Steele, rather than focus on the 46 days we stayed at home. Ultimately, this outward-facing stance of sharing love and celebrating with each other feels right. Not easy, but right. You are special, class of 2020. We will never forget you or this year, and we will always have a special place in our hearts for you. Congratulations. We love you guys.
Hey, what's going on, Steel Canyon class of 2020? And if you don't know me, my name is Zach Wilbur. I'm the high school pastor up the road at Skyline Church. And I just have to say, I felt so honored when I was asked to bring a word of encouragement and blessing to you all today at this baccalaureate. If I can also be honest and candid with you for a second, I hesitated at first when I was asked, because in addition to my responsibilities here, I've also had the privilege of being on the coaching staff for the water polo team at Granite Hills High School. And needless to say, the hopes and dreams and plans we had when we played you guys did not always go as we had hoped or dreamed or planned. So thank you guys for that. And if you're on those teams or maybe at those games, just thank you for those memories. Greatly appreciate it, because it helps me with what I wanted to bring to you all today. Now, I know that today is about celebrating your accomplishment and finishing high school. But I also want to acknowledge and bring up the fact that I'm assuming the last couple months did not go as you had hoped or dreamed or planned. Maybe you envisioned senior year and the ending of senior year going a different way. And when you thought about graduation as an underclassman, it probably didn't look the way that it is right now. And the word that came to me in this time when I thought of what do I want to bring as a word of encouragement and blessing to this class, the word that kept coming to me was perseverance. And so this is a verse from Romans 5 that I want to share with you today. And the writer, the Apostle Paul, is speaking to a group of people who have belief but also are a people of hope. And he says, we can rejoice too when we run into problems and trials, for we know that they help us develop endurance. And an endurance develops strength of character, and character strengthens our confident hope. And this hope will not lead to disappointment. Now, while acknowledging the stuff that you have been through, there's probably a lot of you in this season of life that have been like, I don't see the purpose right now. And it's really easy to say that, well, this class didn't have to go through this, or this class didn't have to do this, and we're the only ones who are going through this time. But I will say, I cannot stand here and say, I know all of the purpose for you in this last 2 months and what's been going on. But I can say that one thing that the trials and difficulty and plans getting ruined does do is it exposes what you're made of. It shows you, do you have the ability to persevere? Do you have endurance in your life? Do you have a strength of character that can last when difficulty hits? And do you have hope? And the fact that you're here today tells me that you do have some perseverance and an ability to endure. And my hope and prayer for you all, and if I can bring a time, just a word of encouragement, yes, you have been through difficulty, but you also made it right here, you persevered. And maybe some of the purpose that you can pick up during this time is to be people who endure, to be people who persevere, and to have hope that when difficulty comes, you know how to get through adversity. And no matter what you're going into next, whether you're going off to college or staying locally or entering the workforce, or you don't even know what you're doing next, my prayer for you and my encouragement is for you to be a class that perseveres. Because if you can learn how to do that now, when the trials come your way of young adulthood and when the difficulty hits you, you can say, you know what? I know what it is to have my plans not go the way I planned, and I know I can make it through it. And when you have that, it gives you a hope, and this hope, it leads to success. So I pray this over you guys today, and I just want to say thank you so much for letting us speak into you, and there's a group of people around you in a community that believes in you. I know I'm not the only one getting a chance to speak to you all today, but there's a community around you that is encouraging you, believing in you, and is praying for good things for you. So I hope that today is celebration and is exciting, and thank you again for the chance to speak. And as always, go Cougars.